It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day to be neighbors. Could you be my neighbor? Hey, YouTubes! I went a little Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers. Mr. Robinson. Could you be my neighbor? Hey, neighbor. That's some mofo breaking into Mr. Robinson's house. We're gonna have to get the pistol to keep that mofo out. Remember Eddie Murphy on SNL, Mr. Robinson? My dog has worms. Nah, my dog doesn't have worms. My dog has parasites. So my dog down here in Florida, like a lot of other dogs, and look, is it nutritional? Is it instinctual? Is it habitual? Is it behavioral? I don't know, but the dog eats feces, and it's not other dog feces. There's so much wildlife down here, like in the backyard, she'll smell a rodent, she'll smell lizard, she'll smell aviary, like birds and lizards and rats and all the little furry shit down here. And you can see her eat it. And when we walk around the large pond, the large puddle, Lake Dorothy, which has tons of birds around it, and I mean some massive birds. Yesterday I saw this giant, what was it called? It's called a stork, a wood stork. So it's about 2.5 feet tall, giant legs. It's got the huge wings, half of which on a diagonal are black, and the top half on the diagonal from tip underneath to thumb are white. Cool as shit. And it's about 3 feet across, 3.5 feet across. And then it's got that giant scaly vulture head, but it's blue or black or grayish, dark grayish. This thing's awesome, and it flew right over me. And I was like, what? I thought I was being attacked by a pterodactyl. I'm not shitting you. I stopped walking and it was like, whoa, what? Because it was about 10 feet off the ground coming right at me. And it stretched open its wings. It was awesome. It's been windy down here, so all the birds are in flight. And even the big birds like that are good flyers, but they're not your awesome flyers. They're flying. They're in the air. And usually those mofos walk around in the reeds, the high grass around the pond, and they hunt. Roomba's done. The floor's clean. I've watched them attack around my house because our house is across the street from the lake. We're not inland from the pond. And so it's not a stretch for them to come right across. And they step and hunt around the fern, the low vegetation, and they are top-notch predators. I've watched them dart and peck and eat lizards and whatnot. Badasses. They are the apex predator in this area. This evergreen, apiary sanctioned establishment, community. Which I think you got to pay $25,000 a year to wear that moniker. Apiary, whatever. No, it's whatever they call the Autobahn. That's what it is. The Autobahn, the German Autobahn Society of Birds. So the Bird Society, right? So that thing flew right over me. It was huge. It was a wood stork. It was scary. And I don't know how I got to this thing. But then I turned and watched, and there are giant osprey that, because the breeze is coming off the ocean, which we are about 1.5 miles from, so it's still strong, and it's a east to west, usually south to north, northwesterly blowing inbound wind mass, right? Or wind whatever pattern. And these things would sit at the cusp of the lake, the osprey, and they sort of look like falcons or hawks. They've got that funny head with the short, sharp beak, and they're birds of prey. This thing sat and would flap its wings until the gust was hard enough, and then would sit so that it could just eagle eye, as an osprey, eagle eye into the water. And dude, it was 100 feet up, or 70 feet up, or 40 feet up. It would hang and then tuck and drop and smoke a fool in the water. Those poor fish just got bombed from above. I'm swimming in the water. The next thing I know, I'm getting eaten like that, and I can't breathe. Awesome predators. This place is cool birds. So that was pretty cool to watch that. And I thought, man, wouldn't that be awesome to film it? And I did. For a moment, I got really excited, like I was going to film the osprey dive bombing. And 4,060 frame, no, 8, with the new red camera. Have you seen the red cinematography camera that idiot, I don't know, many of the YouTubers have? Peter McKinnon just bragged about it yesterday or the day before. It's a giant box camera with a handle so you can hold it like this. And it's got a huge lens on it, a cinematography lens, and it shoots 8,000. It shoots, instead of 4,000 high def, it shoots 8,000. Like, it's a $20,000 start-off camera. It's like $19,000 for the body. Yeah, suck a dick, you retard. Thanks for sharing. I'll never see that or you filming in it. But I needed that. So I thought to myself, hey, let me go into my kit room, my equipment room, and pull out my red, and I'll film that. Super slow-mo, like National Geographic. And you see the bird, and then the eruption of the water. And it's unreal. And when I thought of that, I realized with my GoPro, with any camera in my house, with any of the skills that I have, with my creative eye, I'll never capture that. So I turned and kept walking. I had a moment of, oh, no, okay, bye. No one wants to see that shit, and I'm not wasting my time. Isn't that defeatist? Damn you! Damn you, photography! But quite exciting is what I thought. So that's how I got here. Rika's eating the bird poop and the lizard poop, and now I can't get her to take this freaking medicine to remove her parasites. She will not swallow it and spits the white goop everywhere all over the house. Gets all ornery and runs away. I try to hold her head. We tried to do it yesterday. Oh, doggy. But I have to get rid of the parasites because she has terrible bowel movements. Her stomach and her intestines. And then we got to try to stop her from eating poop. Yeah, I don't think ever. So that's the excitement right now. Yeah. There's a lot going on. I think in 2024, breakdancing is going to be a new sport. In the Olympics. Dude, in 2013, they removed wrestling as one of the core 25 or whatever Olympic sports. Remember that? They removed wrestling, which had been around since 703, 903 BC. I don't know. Before Jesus, maybe AD, I don't know. One of the original, fundamental, base human interactions that we then quantified as sport, as competition, that actually was a critical feature in society. Dominance, strength, power, leadership, right? Of a clan, a tribe, an animal, whatever we are, which we know we are, right? We didn't vote back then. Hey, I cast a nay. I abstain from the vote. No, you're going to get in the ring and wrestle, or we're going to duel, and you'll die if you don't fight, right? They banned it. They removed it because it's not really exciting. That's when the machine has outgrown its usefulness. When a globally popular, millennium-based activity is removed because it just doesn't have global stardom like some of these other sports, like breakdancing or rugby. And what does that mean? You don't have the money. You don't have the media coverage. The televised. Fuck you. What a sham. Our goddamn society. I can't Facebook or tweet you about my wrestling. And I thank you, Jesus Christ, my Lord God, Pope Muhammad, Shinto God, every god that reigns, the Viking gods, when the UFC made it through. Because what's one of the core competencies in that God-blessed activity? Wrestling. And who are some of the greatest combat experts? Wrestlers. You can name them right now. Management of your body in a space in confrontation with another body. Yeah, pretty epic. So I think in 2020 and 2024, wrestling is coming back from FIFA, whatever, from the governing body on an interim stance. And whatever. Here's the other thought. This whole equality thing. There's, I think, I don't know anymore, I think there's still two sports like rhythmic gymnastics and synchronized swimming or swim, whatever it's called, right? That women alone perform, men don't perform. And then there were a slew of wrestling, boxing, some of the skiing and some of the shooting sport, like the ski jump. I don't think women perform the ski jump, right? Off the giant, then that shit's pretty epic with the huge skis. I think they've rectified that. They reconciled that. I think in 2012 maybe women got into boxing, but I don't know if men compete in rhythmic swimming or in rhythmic gymnastics, swim dancing, whatever it's called, synchronized swimming. So this equality for women and men, I mean, getting rid of sports that seem unpopular in the media, the Olympic Committee machine, and then their fight against doping and the competition to win and the drive to win and the sponsorship by these nations that will host it, that have to front tens, hundreds of millions of dollars to build their economy, to implement their televised capabilities, their satellite functionality, just all this shit, right? These stupid opening and closing ceremonies that are disgustingly showy and costly, and then I really enjoy the sport. I really fucking enjoy the sport. You want to watch some giant stadium spectacle about cool things that occur with masses of people and, awesome technique and flags and lights and marching? Go fucking watch a halftime at some other sport medium. That's not the Olympics. The Olympics is the engagement of an individual or a team in competition. Fair, honest, whatever, sport. And then it starts to get really dirty and seedy and whatever. I love sport. That's what it is. And the evolution of it since the 1900s, right? When it really took off. The early 1900s. And then the doping. And then the actual gain from it. And then the political and the governmental and the global notoriety and the financial gain. And the IOC, the Olympic Committee, and the bazillions of dollars that it makes. And now you've tainted sport. It's not about competition. It's not about individuals. It's not about teams. It's not about, achievement, hard work, strife, the human condition, our success, the wonderful aspects of what we do to become the best at something, some competition. It turns into this other thing, and it's horse shit, as usual. Fucking horse shit. So, I don't know, they're going to have breakdancing. Breakdancing's going to be I thought that's why the X Games and all these offshoots came out. So you could showcase some of these skills. BMX biking, motocrossing, those really aren't Olympic sports. They're activities. So I guess we're going to see breakdancing, and I wonder if they're going to televise that. Not at like 3 in the morning here for wherever the next host city has breakdancing. I hope it's prime time. But if I were there, I'd break out with the robot and I'd do some Coolio junk. God! So that's coming. I wanted to bring that up. I found that interesting, strange. I don't know. Marco Rubio just put a paper out, 80-page paper, spoke to somebody somewhere down here in Florida in Congress. I don't know. One of the committees. And the 80-page paper has been about what I've brought up in all of my recent podcasts, China. And how China is trying to, what did he say? I mean, it was brutal, doodle. This dude put it out there. And it was stark. And he said something to the effect that China is trying to supplant. No, China is supplanting the United States, and it must be stopped. And he pointed out in great detail, search it up on the internet, spend a minute, Marco Rubio, the congressman from here in Florida that quit in the election year, decided that he was going to be a candidate, one of the youngest, a young, whatever, 30-something-year-old, maybe early 40-something-year-old of Cuban immigrants. And his popularity, his experience down here in Florida as an individual in that environment, and wanted to utilize that as his soapbox, his pitch to why he would be a great president. And I'll tell you, superior intellect, smart guy, well-spoken, very aware, very polished, career politician, not Ocasio-Cortez, not just a sharp, aggressive person that's moving into Congress. This guy's polished. Has made some mistakes, quit his seat in Congress, did this whole run for president, got crushed by Trump, of course, and then somewhere along the line, with defeat, stated, you know what, I'm not going to go back. If I'm not president, I'm not going to go back. And then realized, I am nothing else. I'm a career politician. So he reinserted himself into the political machine, and he is now in Congress again, which that's typical, right? That's typical of people. Say one thing, do another, realize you are what you are, and feed off of the machine. And he's a millionaire. He does quite well. And he's a good thinker, and he's a good leader, and he's a smart individual that knows how to command, has got good leadership skills, has got good intuition. He's got a good ability to manage, to assess information. He's got sound decision making. Ethically and morally, seems like he's a good guy, but he's a politician, and every politician, ethically and morally, gets dicey, right? The first guy that I've seen that per se doesn't fall into that paradigm, and it's first blush, it's initial, is this Ron DeSantis down here. This guy that did well, played baseball, Florida native, grew up, went into the military, worked hard, got a good family. It's not that he's not an opportunist, but he seems like he's the real deal. Sort of like Brian Mast. Went off to war, fought for our country, gave his fucking legs up. Now he's in Congress. I tend to believe that cat. I tend to trust a dude that gave them their legs. Well, it's a weird perspective. More so than some bum. Some Obama, Clinton, whatever bum. Trump bum in there, right? That's been entitled, that's a millionaire, that's gone to the greatest institutions. Didn't not work hard. These people all work tremendously hard. Don't not think that. Everybody in those roles works intensely and immensely. It totally engulfs and devours their life, as it should. This is a big role. Those are big roles. But at what cost? Well, it's your choice. Do you want to raise a family or do you want to be a politician? A successful politician. Very difficult to do both. So, I don't know. He put the paper out and it details what China's doing, man. And it's got good discussion items. It's got good assessments. It's got good hypotheses. It's got good projected solutions. It ultimately says, look, man, China's here. They're taking over. Everybody needs to recognize this. We need to understand this. And then it states we need to act. And he's told Trump explicitly to his face in Washington, D.C., don't stop what you're doing. The tariff stuff, this Lighthizer stuff, getting your people over there stuff, having these cats that are stealing our intellectual property stuff, putting all of our exporting. We're exporting food to them, and they're importing food, and they're exporting everything else, every other good. Dude, game over. They will gladly take food and then export everything else that supplies the world, including this G5 technology, right? This new connectivity technology of which anything in the future you can project will be running on it, right? Your wireless whatever, your drones, your phones, your cars, your TVs, your appliances, your headsets, your world. So he's spot on, and I sure as shit hope somebody reads that other than me. 80 pages. I don't think it's too much. It seems like it was spot on. I don't know if there was much disputable in that. That machine is up. That is America a few hundred ago. It's crushing. And it's following a communist, a dictator, a monarch style functionality. Couple handfuls of people in charge, and they have their own agenda. And they've got the masses performing that work. And they've taken, he states, this paper states that they play this poor country that's, disheveled and trying to, manage itself into a functional entity on the globe. Dude, they are a superpower already. And they're on the cusp of running and gunning at China speed. They're going to take the moon. They're going to take over space with satellites. They're going to take over technology on this globe. They're going to drive anything. They're going to move to the surrounding regions, the islands, the countries, do whatever they want. And the thought was that in Nixon era, we would open those borders of this feudal, this farming country, and we would free them from the oppression of Mao, from the oppression of a country where the people have no rights and they live in darkness and they work primarily to feed the machine. And in opening up with them and in establishing a relationship, somewhere downstream, they would start to assume and understand and accept our beliefs, our processes, our structures in place. And none of that's happened. They've continued to enforce their own policies. They have greater oppression on their people. They're utilizing those people simply as a workforce for their own means and ends. Boom! Game over. But there's a billion of them. And when you have a billion and that machine controls that billion, man, is that potent. You see that here. We don't have that, and we ain't controlling nobody, and what happens? Unemployment, dissension, inequality, not equal rights, unequal pay, unequal sexuality, religion, race, bullying, the failure of the structure that keeps the integration of society fluid. Each member, each individual is a link. And when those links start to break, the chain's done. You no more towy, no more worky. That's where we're at. Leadership top down, which is sort of messed up because it goes against the thoughts of freedom. Freedom is an elusive item. Man, you got to be careful for what you ask for, because before you know it, It's hurting you. And nobody sees that. They do. Nobody cares. I want self-serving. Screw that. What about me? What about you? You wake up every morning in an establishment in a place where you're guaranteed freedom. That's different than most places on this planet. Dude, I watched this shit about the Brotherhood, the spring in Egypt. Hosni Mubarak leaving, and then, so-and-so taking control, and then El-Sisi. We voted for an open election for a president, and it didn't work. The guy controlled the military. So then the military did a coup, El-Sisi, right? And Sisi runs Egypt, and they don't have rights. And it was about this guy, Bassem Youssef, who had a stupid political satire show like Jon Stewart. That's what he based it off of. Good-looking Egyptian guy, right in Cairo. And I realized how easily and quickly any of your civil, social, personal freedoms, they're not given. They're enforced. They're allowed. No, that's my right. We have no rights. We have no rights. You have no rights other than dude, your rights stop with you. Your protection, your feeding, your sheltering. Those don't exist anywhere on the planet. And everywhere else you go, there's gates and walls. There's enforcement. There's agencies. There's securitization. There's self-perpetuity. You better be aware. Street smarts. Protect yourself. Go somewhere where you don't see all those institutions in place that allow us to have what we have. Whoa. You're walking around with the radar on. Whoa, where am I? And can you do that here in the United States? Of course you can. There's tough spots here. But in a lot of parts of the rest of the world, that's the first thing that goes off. Your radar. You're like, whoa, am I safe here? Better tighten it up, dude. You're gonna lose your shit. You're gonna lose your freedom. You're gonna lose your life. This country has no concept of that. These people born here, these snowflakes, these younger people that haven't had to earn any of it. It's been given through the deaths and the sacrifices of generations. We need everyone to have. No, you know what? Everybody needs to work. Earn it. Understand what it means to be a part of a whole. Just because you're here, you're not part of the whole. What are you doing to assist, to grow that, to contribute? Or are you just a consumer? We got so many fucking consumers in this country right now. They take me. Unbelievable, man. Watch that freaking, I don't know what it was, this documentary. It's called Tickling Giants. Bassem Youssef. He's the Jon Stewart in Cairo. And you know what else I learned? And this is not a nice statement, and it's not fair, and it's not me, and I don't like it. I don't want to go to Egypt. They showed downtown Cairo. And my perspective, which is completely wrong. I've never been there. I don't know. I don't know the people. It's a dump. Cairo, the capital of Egypt. It's a second world dump. Egypt's a crap hole. And man, do I love the pyramids. And man, do I love that society. Eons in that society. The history of peoples there. And the government shut down some knothead who had some mouthy comedy show because it didn't fall in line with their thoughts. This guy's a rabble-rousing big mouth. Boop! They turned the signal off. This guy was thinking, am I gonna get killed? Is my wife or are my wife and child safe? Where's he live? Not in Egypt anymore. 2011, 12, 13, 14. He was the toast to Cairo. Where's he live? Not in Egypt anymore. Crap, dude. I don't know if I want to go to Egypt. I don't know if I want to see the Great Pyramids. That's the only thing left that's great there. It's oppressive tyranny. It's shit. There's countries all over the world like that. Don't you know that? Get in your car, drive to an airport, get on a plane, fly somewhere else that's fucked up. See how much you hate it here. Idiots. Shut your mouth. Put your head down. Do your work. Be proud. Be thankful. Try to understand what made this place, what made your opportunity, what gives your safety. Fucking A. No, you know what? Set some scam up where you get beat up on some camera that's not pointing at you so that your Twitter popularity goes up. And that, you really make a statement about the injustice and the unfairness in this country. You dim-witted little person. You puke. Shit. Get real, man. It's a strange world, and I apologize for, again, the animation and the passion here, but I'm sick of it. Everyone in this country gets tired of working their balls off. And you get up and you do it. And maybe you understand how fortunate you are and how blessed you are that you can do that here. And maybe you get a break or you get a bonus or you work harder. Maybe you don't. And you can't take a vacation. And you can't buy the stuff that you want. My new phone. My iPhone 5000. I don't know. Sometimes it's tough. But there's times when it's not tough, and it's not material, and it's not popularity, and it's not power and prestige. It's your life and your kids and laying on a hammock or laying in a chair or sitting out in the sunshine and watching your children play, or they're healthy, or they laugh, or you're okay and you're safe and they're safe and they're happy and they're smart and they're healthy. What do you need in this life to be successful? Nowadays, seems like nobody's got what they need. We need what the TV and our telephones and our computers and the airwaves tell us we need. Stupid. Do some self-reflection and stop for a moment and think about it and maybe figure it out. Reset. Unload the bullshit in your life for a minute. So, I don't know. I rant and I rave. This is not where this one wanted to go. And I apologize. But it's hot in the week. And that's where I'm at right now. So, give me your likes, your comments, your shares, subscribe. Maybe Will Weinbach. Will Weinbach! Who is this Will Weinbach that ripped up Twitter? Maybe Will Weinbach will like me and he'll retweet my stuff out here. Maybe that's what I'm going to put. Will Weinbach. I'm going to put that on the title of this video, which, you know what? That's fraudulent. So I won't do that because I'm not a fraud. But that'd be a good technique, right? Probably not. It'd have no effect. When you're down here in the bottom, and the dregs, nobody cares. So I enjoy it, and I thank you all for listening, whomever you are, and I appreciate your participation. Comment, like, subscribe, share, whatever. I hope you listen. I hope you enjoy. I hope you don't enjoy. Give me some feedback. Dave DY Show, out!